roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one last traveled by, and that has made all the difference. The road not taken, Robert Frost. Hey guys, we're the Professionalists. We're back with FEZ, and wanted to share with you one of my favorite poems, especially as it relates to gaming. Mikey's here.
Squirrels!
The thing is that when I was playing this with Vince, after that, Michael and Scotine all kind of had a spin with it as well, along with the rest of the people in the house, because we were just so excited to play it. And now we've kind of gotten a little bit of time to acclimate to the wonderment that is this game. And because of that, I mean, as I watched you play, Michael, and I watched Scotine play, you guys went totally different ways from the way Vince went.
I climbed a tree.
And that's where this comes from. You saw him go into the tree, and now we're in a completely different area from where Vince went, and because of that, they have totally different ideas of what is where. And so for this like little part of the FEZ series, I kind of wanted to have each of the individuals share their roads. We've seen Vince's earlier, and now Michael's here to help us with Michael's path.
Yep.
So that's where the Robert Frost poem comes in. Me just being all snobby.
It was very appropriate, though. I totally, really wanted to go into that first door I saw. I was like, no. You know what? No. I'm gonna go explore a little bit more.
Are you saying you're better than Vince?
I'm not saying I'm better than Vince. I'm saying I took the road that was not obvious. Also taking the road not obvious, I'm in a creepy Dracula shack.
This is what you get for trying to be a snobby
Shacula.
Road less traveled guy.
Yeah, I don't like this place. There's nothing in here.
What do I do?
I'm leaving.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where have you gone?
I left alright, but I don't know where I...
You were not in a creepy log cabin, were you? I don't remember that.
It was really homely and loving the last time I was in it, I'm pretty sure.
This is not the nice forest of happiness. What have you done?
I don't know what I did, Solon. I did bad things again.
Kinda cool though. I mean, kind of the idea.
Koob!
Get all your koobs. One of the interesting things is that this place is like the way that you went.
Just all the koobs.
Where Vince's was full of puzzles. Full of bomb-based puzzles.
See,
and so we'll see where yours takes you.
When I played through it, it took me quite a while to even run across any bomb-esque thing, but I did. I had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, we're gonna go on to that, right?
Yeah. Look at this place. Look how many koobs. It's rich in natural koobits.
Yeah. You obviously picked the right road, and by right I mean really scary.
Yeah. I think it's a risk management thing.
This is some kind of like Castlevania-esque level here. We were just in the Mario level with the mushrooms, and then it's like, nope, Castlevania time now.
Well, you thought it was gonna be all happy.
Not anymore. You have taken a wrong turn somewhere, and that.
No.
But it's interesting because you guys can now have like totally different understandings of the game, even though you're doing the same thing. Really, collecting cubes and got the same goal, but now you have totally different mindset.
Yep.
Like fleeing lightning and jumping on invisible blocks.
Yeah, see, whereas, from what I've heard, Vince had to do a lot of puzzles and there was a lot of bombing. So his was more puzzle-based, whereas mine was more platformer-based, it seems. You got a different platform you gotta jump on, you gotta watch out for certain things at certain times.
But the invisible platforms are... Sometimes you just have to hit them.
Yeah,
Stop.
I get stuck in loops. Anyways, yeah, sorry.
All the invisible platforms are so cool looking.
Oh yeah.
They only show up in the lightning, but you can also see them if you can catch the rain dropping on it. So it's like this intense physics system where you can't tell the depth of these blocks.
Nope.
So they're kind of haphazardly thrown all over the place. Since you can't see them all the time, it makes it hard to understand where they come from or where they go.
Yep.
Especially when you're turning the world.
Yes.
And that's what makes it tricky. But it's also cool. So now you had your platforms lined up and now they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Where are you going with this?
Yeah, I don't think I need it.
You're just gonna... Okay.
I'm gonna go find me a snail. Found him!
There they are. One of the really interesting things about this game is how you have this single voice of the designer Phil Fish who worked on this for 6 years. And that's something you really don't get in a lot of places. And that's really where art comes from. Especially when you think of like the music industry, when you think of movies, you have kind of these like superstars that are the brains behind the operation, directors or producers, or they're artists or whatever they are, they're writers. This is one of those cases where, because of how small it is as a production and how much work was put into it, because of how Phil Fish was not as limited in time or money as other people would be, and just his overall insanity? Persistence, that's what we call it. We call it persistence.
Oh yeah. It's a much nicer. People tend to not.
He's kind of a mad genius, though.
Oh.
Kind, you know. I watched the game movie. He is a major part in it. And there's like these 3 different sides to Phil Fish's madness. There's his goofy side that just stares at computers that make fun flashing lights until he goes a little crazy. Whoa, holy crap.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. You got the big guy in the middle who's following me, and you got these little guys who they can be rotated as my mathematical Navi has.
Vince also had a rotating puzzle thingy. It was not this creepy though. Wow, that is really following you.
Yep. So I can move these guys.
Okay. So you have them all lined up?
I almost do. You've got 3 of them. There's this last guy over here. And now they're all lined up.
Oh, it's not falling.
Now the skull's not falling anymore.
Nice.
And you realize, yet. At this point, it's not following me, and now I can finally see the back of his head, whereas I couldn't before. And there's a door.
Can you get eyes back there?
I hope not. I'm about to enter his spinal column.
Oh god, there's a ghost.
I think I may have... Yep, there he is. Out here.
Oh god.
Kind of look like the ghost of Egad from Luigi's Mansion. Kind of had the big head and little doctor thing. Anyway, anti-cool.
It's connected. Wow, you made it all the way up here. Get that anti-cube.
Yep.
Good work.
Anti-cube.
When you think of something that's like in 6 years of development and it's like this artisty background, I mean, one of the connections you can make is like Duke Nukem Forever, which would be the opposite.
Right. It had all this production forever, but instead of having one person like this had Phil Fish, that one had so many people touching it, all over the place.
Ugh. But yes.
And cleaner way in there.
Yes. Yeah, maybe 2 sterilized. Actually, I guess it's Duke Nukem, so it's exactly as dirty as you're thinking.
Yeah.
Roped and ripped and teared all over. mean, the other side of this, if you go to the music industry, a comparison I saw that was made on the PA report was to Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy, which is a very interesting comparison, because that's another thing that was coming out for forever. And then it dropped in 2008 to Response. It was not underwhelming nor overwhelming in either way, and it just kind of went away. It was a very interesting thing, but just because of what it was, I mean, I feel like that's where it had the time, but it didn't necessarily have the artisticness behind it, or it was missing that. But I couldn't tell you much more about it, just because I haven't listened to it with a lot of other films and stuff. That's the thing, dude.
It is good.
Yeah, but that puts us in a very interesting place, just because of how this, unlike other indie games, where did you just go?
It's like
Oh,
the
Jesus.
skull, except it's worse because it's an owl.
That's really creepy. Good God. Why would you take us here?
Like music that doing it.
Why? No.
Look at it.
I mean, what do you even do with it?
You look at it. You know,
Why don't you
you
just
can turn his
spit
head.
it off?
It never does. I literally spent about 10 minutes in this room just trying to break this owl's neck any way I could, and I couldn't. And I can't. It deserves it. Look at it. See? Creeps math.
Dog.
It creeps math Navi out too.
Navi.
That's what
I don't know.
That's what I'm insisting on.
All paper movies know like Navi.
Meth Navi. Really quick though. Regardless of the way you look at it, I'll just freak her out.
So basically, my main point with this is that there's really no way to separate the game from in what context it was created, because of how amazing it was that it has even come out in the way it did. A lot of the indie developers are limited by time or money, and they can't spend this kind of effort or time on a game like this. Unless they're in a position where they're already making money, so they can, update it over time. And definitely not with this level of aptitude towards where other games do a lot of things better. Better dynamic, better anything else. This has got the game design down. Oh yeah, they have. All the design juice is in this game. I think it's. I got a bigger thing on my mind though right now. That we're kind of bouncing around here, and one of the interesting things about this game is that there's really not like. You have the win state, right? You have to get 32 cubes full, and then life goes back to normal or something. But there's 64 of them, and there's a whole lot of other places and things that exist in this world that we don't even know half of it yet, because we've only just started playing.
Yeah.
It feels like we're just opening up into this world. And so, I mean, without this kind of intensive focus on completion, it becomes very easy. Oh yeah. You kind of, hey, you got a cube! Woo! Nice. Didn't even realize we were up to 6 already.
No, we're up to 8.
Or 6 cubits.
Oh yeah.
Nice. We can open 2 doors now. That's a jackpot.
It's worth it. This place is terrifying.
Make you work for it. Just with your bladder control.
Make you work.
Yep.
That's a sound.
Yes. What was I doing the thing there? So, if this is idealized as like it's not challenging. It doesn't engage you in that kind of tough way like other games. Gosh, you probably have examples. You probably
Yeah, one of my favorite games. It's always one of my favorite games from my childhood. It's a Harvest Moon 64. It's another example of a game that, you know, there is
That's a hard game, though. What I heard. I thought.
well, in a way, there's one particular end game you can go for. It's like, but the time you have such a large time frame, and you don't even know about the ending anyway. So if you play the game the first time, you would never even know you had the ending. So you can run this farm however you want, whatever fashion you'd like to do it in. It's really leisurely. You can
I go corner these trees together, eh?
yeah.
Nice. Or not.
And so you can it's just a really relaxed game that you can do whatever you want. There's no real challenge. But even though there's no, it's not hard in a sense that it's still a really fun game because you, instead of the focus being on the challenge, it's been great. The focus is more on the enjoyment of it through exploration of it. Whereas
You're raising a farm.
right, yeah, you're raising a farm, you do what you want, how you want to do it. There's so many
You
ways.
have a lot of control.
All the control, just like you do in here. There's set ways.
But it's a totally different game mechanic.
Very different game mechanic. The similar I'm trying to point is that there's all these set paths you can go on, all these different romantic interests you can follow, before you can raise your farm, which can be pictured like this map here. You can go one certain way, or you can go back a certain other way, you can backtrack go other ways. And that's where you get the enjoyment out of the game. They're not hard to go down these pathways, it's just fun exploring your options and doing what you want.
This is totally different, though, from, like, a Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, the other end of the spectrum is Dark Souls, where you really don't have a choice in what you do. It's pretty linearly
Or
set
the
out.
anti-negative zone that we don't like to talk about. You can talk about Dwarf Fortress.
Oh god,
The game was going to die.
yeah. Or everything goes to die. Or death goes like, who wants to just end it all.
Where these are games that are designed to be part of Ninja Gaiden.
Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden is another good one because, right, Dwarf Fortress is an interesting one. I'll get to that back in a second. But the other ones are great because it's very linear what you have to do. It's just very hard to do.
Yeah.
So that's the exact opposite. This is freedom and easy. The other is no freedom and very difficult. And each has its own, attractions for certain people. You play each of these games for different reasons. Whereas Dwarf Fortress, it's very creative. You can do many, many different things with it. You can build your town in a different way. And it's hard as shit.